Alright, so this is Richard Ortiz with RichSalsa.com. I got Darlin Garcia, right?
Yeah,
With me from Philadelphia. And just tell me a little bit recently about your most recent competition. I know you've been competing the last few years, but something,
Yeah, I mean, I've been competing for a while now. Like, I think my first competition was 2002. So this year we decided, because of all the comments that we've been hearing from the judges throughout the years or whatever, this year we decided to just flip the script completely in our choreography, and we went totally opposite of what we did last year. So in the years past, so the three categories in which we placed the highest were the ones we placed the lowest this year, that's how different we switched things up. And we placed second, man. It's what they wanted to see. I mean, we were a little worried about the changes and just the style completely, but things worked out. So we did. Yeah, it paid off. So we did. We did what we wanted to.
Well, the reason I was asking is because, as you know, I'm from Midland, so there's not a lot of stuff, and one of the biggest things that I want to do with my website is just kind of expose the world basically to a lot of input that they don't normally get when they don't have mentors, when they don't have anything. What are some pointers that you would give to someone who's like in an area that maybe doesn't have a lot of instructors, or who just want to really get into
competition,
or that, or even performing? Because I know you've been performing.
You're right. Just know that there's a huge difference between competing and performance. You got to get that in your head right away. If you're performing, do what you want, show what you want, and that's basically it. Because you're performing to get an audience reaction. You're performing to do you. When you're competing, you're not competing to be the best dancer. You'll see that time and time again. You'll get the audience be like, oh man, you should have won, blah blah blah. I get that a lot. You're competing to please the judges. So if you keep getting your marks and you keep placing lower and not making it in the top 3, then something's got to change. And that's what we did. It's just kind of like just giving up your style. If you're competing, you gotta know that's what you're doing. So I'd say know the difference between performance and competition, and you're not there to please the audience.
So the performance would be more artistic. You have more liberty with what you want to do, and you don't have to worry about rules limiting your performance.
Yeah.
Would you say, like, because it seems like every year that I've seen performers, they do some stuff like throughout the routine continuously it seems obvious that they're going to get docked. I mean, does it always happen that there's always people that just seem like they don't read the rules, or they just...
I mean, I don't want to mention any names, but there is, there's just people that just don't get it. I mean, if you're competing year in and year out, and you keep placed in a certain place, 3rd, 4th, you're right outside the box, something's got to give. I mean, that's just common sense, which is what we did. It's the same thing. It's like, and there's a few of the competitors that have been competing as long as I have, and just keep coming year after year with the same stuff, and it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Now I know we're here at the 2011 Houston Salsa Congress. I know you had several performances that you had done, and I mean, like you got you, and then you have your pro team, your semi-pro team, the kids team, ladies team. And you just had a baby.
Yeah.
So how do you do all that?
It's not easy. I got a super supportive wife. She's got my back no matter what. So that's very key. So she supports my career, and we just keep it rolling. So home during the day with the baby, and trying to just juggle stuff around. Basically, she comes home after work. We barely see each other. But we spend the time that we need to, and then she takes the baby at nighttime. Very important to have a family support as well. My mother and her mother would take the baby whenever we drop them off, no matter what time of day. So that helps a lot with the family. You got a lot of people nowadays that don't have that. Have to single mothers can't even depend on their parents to help them out. But we have a very good support.
So you're lucky you're in your hometown.
Oh yeah.
Cool. So, I guess I don't feel so bad staying in my hometown. No, it has come in handy as far as just traveling and getting stuff, not having to worry about so many things. so many different countries and whatnot. Are there any goals or anything different that you want to try to accomplish this year that you haven't normally done? Or
This year will be the first year
So
I'm
we
actually
need to extract that.
opening up my own school.
or
So basically with the kid now, I'm gonna the mentality changes because it's no longer about traveling and right. Well, it's still having fun because I mean ultimately you gotta love what you do. You know, the difference is now the focus is making this a long time career and something that you can support your family with. It's always been that, but now more so I have to really focus on that. So opening up the school, growing the teams, just all that has been the major focus in the past 6 months. My baby's 6.5 months now, and more so now going on into this year and the next couple of years, it's just strictly focusing on the business side of it, and just you have to be more choosy with the events that you do.
now you have a degree though, right?
Yeah, architecture.
Architecture, and did you just leave that in the last few years?
Yeah,
right?
06.
To
06. I had to
to
get ready for the championship. So basically, I spent like a year and a half trying to debate whether I go, pro as a dancer or just try to juggle both of them.
So, just one last question, because I know you're busy. I know you got to pack and everything to go home. But for someone who is trying to go from just dancing as a hobby, or just performing, or who's thinking they want to go to that next level and actually try to do it for a living, what are some suggestions that you would make?
Well, I mean, don't listen to people. I was told by a very high level dancer at the time and still now that it's difficult because too many people are doing this right now. So definitely don't listen to people. If it's in your heart, if it's in your mind, and you have the drive, just like anything else, go for it. Whether you have to change cities or give up what you got to give up. If it's something that like I felt like going to work at an office doing architecture was starting my day, my first 8-9 hours of the day on the wrong foot. I just felt miserable for the rest of the day, And I love architecture, but it's just I wasn't doing what I wanted to do to stay in that field, in that business, and dance just took over. So I said, don't listen to people, and give yourself some time. It takes about 2.5 to 3 years to get on that ball. So you have to you have to put in the time, pay your dues. So the first year we paid everywhere we went. Second year they started covering our hotels. Third year some places covered our flights, and then now is everything covered. So you have to put in the time, pay your dues, and just travel, get your face out there. Everybody used to tell me like, damn, I feel like I see you everywhere. That's what you gotta do.
And now they see you everywhere.
Now they still see me everywhere, but it's covered. So definitely you have to put your time in there. Don't listen to people. If it's something that's in your heart, go for it. And you have to, you have to train. I mean, I don't know how much to emphasize to people. People start performing, and all of a sudden they stop training. And that's your bigger mistake. All us dancers, I have coaches that I still work with, even though I'm second in the world. I'm still working with coaches and dancers, and just gotta keep, spicing it up. There's a lot of people that started when I started that are like, man, I can't believe you're still doing this full out. I compete, with different partners. I train my teams. I have 4 teams. I work with kids. You gotta keep moving, or else you will get tired of this. That's basically what you gotta do to get in this.
Well, cool. Well, I appreciate the input. I'm sure everyone else does too. And thank you guys for checking out RibsSalsa.com, and see you guys out on the dance floor.
Peace.